What's up? Welcome to the Fast Break, the first episode of the 2013-2014 men's basketball season. Andrew Beaton, Daniel Carp, Danny Nolan here to break down the next matchup against the Kansas Jayhawks. And Dan, when you look at the Champions Classic in Chicago, there's a lot of matchups to look for, but specifically Andrew Wiggins, Jabari Parker is what everyone's talking about.
It all starts with Andrew Wiggins and Jabari Parker, the top two recruits in this incoming freshman class, one of the most talented freshman classes in recent memory in college basketball. And the second game of the season, they're going to square off in Chicago, which also is a location that for Duke holds a lot of special significance.
Well, first of all, hometown of Coach K, also hometown of Jabari Parker, but there's just tons of Duke connections in Chicago. You have former assistant, current Northwestern basketball head coach Chris Collins, current Duke special assistant and player John Shire. So you have that, but you also have Jahlil Okafor, the top recruit in the class of 2014, and he's going to be in attendance at this game. And the most interesting thing is he's choosing between Duke and Kansas in a lot of people's minds. So he gets to be there for this game, and he could be deciding within a week.
And when you talk about Jahlil, he's a big man. He's the most highly coveted big man in that class next year. And when you talk about Kansas, it's really the same thing. A lot of size on that Kansas front court.
Yeah, Kansas inexperienced up front, but one of the most talented front courts in the nation. And Duke's going to have a lot to contend with there because against Davidson, they struggled at times inside. They actually got out-rebounded by a Davidson team whose tallest starter was 6'7", and Duke started three guys who were 6'8". So that's something that against a Kansas team that's as talented as they are, can't happen.
And first, there's Tarik Black, the transfer from Memphis, who Duke also went after this summer, but ultimately he transferred to Kansas and Bill Self. But then coming off the bench, they have the 7-footer from Cameroon, Joel Embiid, who in his first game against the University of Louisiana Monroe got to the foul line 10 times in 11 minutes. He has a big 7-foot frame, which can be a lot for Jabari Parker and Emil Jefferson to deal with down low. When Coach K was asked about the Parker-Wiggins matchup after that Davidson game, he actually talked about Embiid and how many people think he might be the best recruit and NBA prospect in this class.
And when you talk about both teams, the capability of offensive explosions are there. You look at Duke's last game against Davidson, 70% shooting from the field, over 100 points scored. Now, it's probably not going to happen in Chicago. But when you're looking at this offensive matchup, Carp, do you see a lot of points being scored here?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a high-scoring game because Duke is going to continue to push the pace, and I think Kansas is going to have to keep up. Now, they should not bank on shooting 70% again, and they shouldn't bank on putting up 111 points. The real question here is going to be how Bill Self's Kansas Jayhawks squad responds because they're ones that defense has been their hallmark, but with so many inexperienced players, starting 3 freshmen potentially, and then having a graduate student who's playing still his first games in a Kansas uniform, whether or not they can keep up that defensive intensity they've been known for so many years.
And people love to talk about how Duke is going to be able to potentially contain Wiggins, but how is Wiggins going to play on the defensive end trying to deal with guys like Parker and a more experienced player in Rodney Hood, because Hood and Wiggins are likely to be guarding each other, both playing the 3, and Wiggins has never really had to defend a 6'8" guy who isn't just a post player. He can score, he can shoot the 3, he can drive, and that's a big test early in the season for such a young player.
A lot of NBA prospects on the floor, a lot of NBA prospects perhaps in the stands for this game. But Jayhawks, Blue Devils, who wins this game?
Duke has been fantastic in the month of November recently. They're 34-1 since the 08-09 season, and I think that's a trend that continues. It's going to be a tight game. I think Duke is going to be pushed to their limits, but the Blue Devils are going to take this one 79-74.
I also think Duke takes, I think it's a little bit closer and a little bit more high scoring. The Blue Devils take it 81-79. Big day for Rodney Hood.
So we'll see you in Chicago for the Champions Classic. Andrew Beaton, Daniel Carp, Danny Nolan. See you guys later.